Welcome to E360 TV, the live streaming and on-demand destination for influential voices and enlightened audiences. We offer trending, grassroots, and purpose-driven content across a diverse range of interests. E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversation. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
Hello, hello, hello. I have a question for you. Have you ever felt completely lost? You know, seeking purposeful direction that could and should propel your mission within your divine journey to that next level, but still it hasn't happened. Well, my name is Lauren Michaels Harris, and I'm the founder of P3, the Journey Series. People come to me because they're wounded. Many are scared, and even there are those who are bruised simply because they feel that they are increasingly, for whatever reason, losing their ability to dream. Now, this P3 program is not for a person who's just looking to start a business, no, but rather for those of you out there who have been on your journey and you've been navigating within your divine purpose, but you still desire to elevate to that level that you have not reached yet. If this is appealing, if this describes you, then I want to have a chat with you. I want to hear your story. So use the link below to get registered for your free seat at P3, the Journey Series. And let's get started, one story at a time. I'll see you inside. Click the link. All of our stories begin with either in the beginning or once upon a time. And for me, my story began pretty much, and this is how it was referred to for quite a while, a backdoor deal. I could be living in a different neighborhood, in a different school, with different kids in the same bedroom from day to day. And so it began to feel like I was moving through a maze. I was always the kind of kid who would talk to my imaginary friends. They would talk back. And I know now that it was a great thing because it was carving out a place for me to dream. A lot of us will say, well, I want to lose 10 pounds. And then down the road, we've gained it. Why? Because want comes like a wish list, but need comes with a plan. When you feel that power, that is your story, and you see how many paths it can light, trust me, there's nothing in the world that will make you say it wasn't worth it.
Before you get it, baby, show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.
Quit hating. You know I'm jamming. You know, I really do have an issue, seriously, because all the kids in my family, I don't know what's wrong with my family members. They claim I don't have rhythm. Like, as if. Well, it boils down to this. I must admit, at family reunions and gatherings, when they do those line things, step up, 1 foot, to the left, to the right. Not my thing. But freestyling, which is dancing. So there it is, your ADHD moment for the day. There it is. That's right, my superpower. When it takes over, I let it run. I let it run, and you should too. Anything that they told you was something that wasn't working for you, don't buy that. Make it work for you. There are no mistakes in this universe. That's just them keeping our shit interesting. So there it is. Wake up and get up and stay up. It's time to start this day. All right, there's the bell of purpose. I'm Dr. Lauren, and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. Listen, I ring that bell on purpose with purpose because just like it, that ring you hear there, right? The truth has one too. Tune your soul into it. Put your compass permanently on due north. And use everything that you've lived to change lives and ease suffering. You'll be glad you did one day. I just got a sneaking suspicion. So, okay. Do I have any announcements? Okay, really quickly. If you are in the Albany, New York area on the 8th, next week, next September 8th, Sunday, I'll be at the New York State Mental Health Conference. Keynoting there. So if you need more information, it's all over my socials, or go to LaurenMichaelsHarris.com. And then BTYB, becoming the best you, the better you. 2024 Kansas City. That's going to be, I'll be gone the 9/12 through 9/15, but the event is the 13th and 14th in Kansas City. If you're in the Kansas City area, I'll see you there. Woo! Now let me tell you one last thing. I started legs today in the health club. For the first time in probably, excuse me, I don't know, 8 years. Not because I'm trying to look good in shorts. That too. But primarily because when you're 62, something I just realized. For all of you under 40, right now, I'm telling you, don't make fun of Depends commercials and stuff like that, because it's going to come back to bite that ass. The reason I started working out legs today was because I realized I need my legs worked out so I can get to that bathroom fast, or either I'm gonna have to be wearing Depends one day because I'll be walking to mind my own business. You ever seen little kids that got pee, little boys? Yes. They say you go all the way back to the beginning. Lord have mercy. Listen, it's a true thing, but don't laugh. That's another thing, people under 40 thinking, oh, look at that old man, that old lady with their senior moments. Last time you walked in the room and went, what I coming here for? That's a junior moment. You're on your way. So those are all great things because you can only experience them when you keep living, right? And if you stop giving up, you'll start living up to your potential, living up to everything you can do to change this world. So there we go, you guys. Now, you know, I usually have, which I do today, my breakfast, which today is Special K and bananas. I've already had 2 Morningstar Farm vegetarian sausages, right? But look at this. Remember that candy bowl I posted a few weeks ago? I said, oh my God, my husband and I were senior citizens for real because we got a candy dish. Look what's in it. I didn't do it. It's supposed to be for company, right? But I got that. I see you grinning back down in there, Samantha. Samantha Wendt. I brought those in there. Samantha Wendt, you guys, was a sugar addict. So I thought, we're going to see. I got so many questions for her. I'm telling you, you're going to love this. She's really just getting out of the box. Just getting out there, breaking the ice, getting her name out there and her story out there. But it's just, you know, it's a beautiful place to start here on Bathrobe Moments because you guys are so wonderful and you're so forgiving and you're so loving. So pour into Samantha when she comes in. She's going to talk to us about a serious thing. You won't believe some of the things this young lady went through, but she got through it. She got rid of that poison. And now she's got the antidote that could help you or someone you love. You guys, put some hearts on the screen, won't you? It's our virtual way of saying welcome. Get in here. She's coming down the hallway right now. Samantha Wendt. Samantha.
Good morning.
How are you?
I was doing good until you showed that candy bowl. Jeez, we don't need that. Get that out of here.
Was it triggering?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that, but first of all, Samantha went to town one day to pick a pail of water. I'm just kidding. Get it? Samantha went.
Water.
Samantha went to. Did you ever have jokes like, is that a married name or did you grow up with that name?
It's a married name.
Dang. If I'd have known you and that was your like real name, you know, like as kids, you'd have hated me. Samantha went somewhere. Where'd you go? Oh, there she is. Okay, ADHD. Listen, the sugar expert.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that's a bold statement.
It is. And it's not the way that you think it might be. You know, I'm not in the kitchen baking up things with sugar. No, I am here to tell you the hidden truths that the sugar industry has been hiding about sugar on you.
Ooh, okay, now be careful. We don't want you to end up like Oprah did, fighting in the courts with like she did when she attacked the meat people. You know, well, I'm just kidding, but not really, because the thing is, it takes a lot to stand up to it. But this is where it begins, especially in this election season. Everybody waits until the last minute, thinking that, you know, voting for the president is you're doing your duty, but you need to do your duty all the way through. And those are government agencies and stuff, and a lot of us don't know anything about when we're voting what they feel about some of the things like what you're going to bring up today. So first things first, I love, and I always do it, give my guest about 60 seconds. If you need it, you don't have to take the full 60, but I'm going to dip out for a second. I don't like really reading the bios. I like you to just say hi, pour into people, create the vibe. We'll come in and ride that vibe like a surfboard all the way around the vessel. Lord Jesus. Was that a senior moment? No, just lazy mouth. Okay, just lazy mouth, they're saying. Thank you for that. Got to check. I'm serious. How old are you, Samantha?
I am 39.
Are you? You look like a kid. You look great.
About the sugar.
And now you're saying sugar preserved you?
Well, sugar can eat you.
Oh, okay. I don't want to get don't start telling the story. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Listen, what is wrong with am I having I'm not going to even say that. Let's do this. Are you ready? Just take,
I'm
you
ready.
don't have to do all 60, but just say hello and then we'll get started.
Good morning, everybody. I am Samantha Wendt. Yes, I am your sugar expert. And yes, I was highly addicted to sugar. Sugar demons almost killed me. Woo! But now I am here and ready to spread the awareness of the effects of sugar on your health. Are you ready to deep dive into this heart-telling, inspiring moment of what sugar can do and how you can start breaking free from the graveyard of sugar yourself? Let's go today. I will share my story and we'll get into this.
You grinning a lot. You on a sugar high right now?
No, well, natural sugar. I had my smoothie this morning.
Uh-huh.
This is something that like highly gets me passionate because those sugar demons almost took me out. But I said,
when was your last
no.
relapse?
What was that?
When was your last relapse?
I have not had anything with added sugar since 2022.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll be nice now. I just wanted to see. Okay, so wait a minute. You mentioned this that I picked up.
That's
so
a lot of sugar.
Take us back into what year marks the midway point when you were knee deep inside your sugar addiction? 1997. What year?
It was 2010 when I was the queen to the 3 king size candy bars plus all the sweet treats. I'm talking I could
Okay.
pound down a package of Oreos a day.
Okay, we're going to get into that. But so what's the year?
2010.
So let's go back in time, get inside your DeLorean, reference to a movie you should all know, Back to the Future. Let's pretend we're in the heat of your addiction. Now, let's say you're there by yourself, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and you're going to stay up till 10 o'clock at night. And I put this bowl of candies, and let's just say cinnamon was one of your favorites. If you ever liked Red Hots, these babies here. Ooh, I won't say a girl. Look, so listen, let's pretend, okay? We put this in front of you. Now, be honest, seriously. It may not even be your thing, but you knew there was sugar in it. I leave that bowl there with you at 7 o'clock in the morning. I come back at 11 o'clock at night. How much is
that
going to...
bowl probably would have been gone.
What?
That bowl probably would have been gone.
The whole bowl?
Yep.
Good plan.
Nope.
There's probably, I don't know, because he just filled this up yesterday. I don't know, probably look like 100 of them. How many do you guys think are in here? Take a look. Who wants to guess? I'll count them. You want me to give away a prize if you get close? Put it in the comment sections. How many do you think are in here? Okay, but you serious? You're not just bullshitting
I am
with us.
dead serious. It was that bad. I was seriously worshiping the chocolate, the sugar, more than I actually worship Jesus.
Okay. Ooh. Don't stand too close to me. I ain't trying to get burned up. I'm just saying. I'm kidding. Listen.
That was 2010. We're talking in the heat of the moment here. We're not talking.
No. I get it. I'm kidding. But we're going to stay in the heat of the moment. We want to hear about when you were in the eye of the storm first.
Oh, yeah.
Because, not to discount any part of our journeys, but, when we're in the eye of the storm, that's where we make it or break it. That's where we pump it or dump it. And so I want to take you back to that time for a reason. So let's stay in there for about 15 minutes if we could. And let's say now it's time for you. You got nothing in the house. It's time to go get groceries. That means the rice-a-roni, the whatever else you were eating, because if you were eating that much sugar, I can't imagine you cared about vegetables and stuff that much, but I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. But let's just say whatever you were going to get, because you didn't just sustain yourself on candy alone or sweets alone, you had to have some regular food too. So let's say you go in the store, you have the empty cart. What aisle would you gravitate to first?
It was probably the candy aisle, the cookies, But
you walk in, the produce and stuff is usually right there. You mean you just go on past that? There's a flow when you walk into your grocery store. There's a flow. Most people here, they got to lay it out that way. You're telling me you just cut a right and went to the candy.
I might have grabbed your package of strawberries, but nope, it was usually hightail it out of the produce.
Okay, wait a minute. You said you go to the candy aisle. In the grocery store, the candy aisle, except for the lanes where you check out, that's the individual. But the candy aisle, in my store anyway, is big-ass bags and stuff. Bulk.
Uh-huh.
So you were buying, what would you get? Go, be honest. What would your cart look like? I'm the checkout person. Put your stuff up on the belt. What's coming out of there?
There would have been packages of Oreos, ice cream, hamburger helper, the meat to go for the hamburger helper. So either your beef or your pork. I was very unhealthy with eating. It was very few vegetables, very few fruits.
Let me ask you this.
Of the
now you checked out. Okay, so now you checked out. You're in the car. Did you put everything in the trunk, or did you bring a pack of Oreos up in the front seat to open up because you couldn't wait till you got home? I'm trying to figure out what it was like to be stalked, because that's how when you talked to me before we booked this, it felt like there was this guy walking behind you all the time, named Sugar.
No, it was everything went in the trunk except for maybe a candy bar. And then I would go to the fast food chain and get a meal. Even though I've got the groceries in the back, I go to the fast food chain, like your McDonald's or Burger King, and make sure that I get the malt or
Okay, but you do realize what you just did, right, Samantha? When I said there was a reading girl, you on Bathrobe Moments, I'm gonna try to set you up. I'm just saying. Well,
I wasn't stopped.
No, but listen, when I said, did everything go in the trunk? And you said, yep, everything went in the trunk except for maybe one candy bar. That's not everything in the trunk. But see, the reason I bring that to the front, I'm not picking on you, but it's a great teaching lesson right there, learning curve for all of us. That when most of the time, when we got to be careful about those things, even in recovery. I'm in recovery, so many people are for something or the other. But I'm going to tell you something. When we discount situation and don't recount it exactly as it happened, we're not lying to the world. We're lying to ourselves, and that's the most dangerous thing we could ever do. Because when we break our own commitments with ourselves, that's when most things go asunder. So I'm just going to say, why do you think that is that it came out like that? Oh, yeah, everything went in the trunk. Well, except maybe, because was that you giving yourself grace? Like it used to be a whole 6-pack. But I learned how to take one up there. But what I'm trying to get to, Samantha, is the beckoning. The thing that, how come it's like, because a lot of people talk about these relationships with food or porn or all kinds of addictions, is that it's always calling them. Mm-hmm. So what was going through your mind when you said, well, I'll just have one?
Well, I was just trying to satisfy that little voice within inside till I got home, or till I got to that fast food joint to be able to get my fix of either that shake or that fix. The fix.
Was there a physical pull? Like people who don't get coffee get a headache. Was there a physical pull if you didn't get your sugar?
Mine was shoving down emotions that I did not want to handle.
Wait a minute.
So it was trying to calm all those trauma voices that were stuck inside. And it was just trying to calm those down is what my sugar was all about, was just calming that.
So wait a minute. Did you know this while you were eating the sugar? That's what it was?
Nope.
Well, what did you think was going on? I just can't stop eating sugar. Ooh, sugar just so good. I don't know why water ain't made out of sugar. I mean, what did you really say to yourself? Because how big, talk about your weight.
I was over 240 pounds. At my highest point, I was over 240 pounds.
Okay, and what are you today? What are we looking at right there?
I'm about 160, 170, somewhere in there.
See, that's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Now, so it made your lifestyle pretty different, I would think.
Oh, yes. When I was in the height of my sugar addiction, I was, like I said, over 240 pounds, having joint pain, couldn't even have kids. I was married when I was 20. And so it's not like I wasn't trying, but my sugar addiction was impeding me from being able to have any kids.
One thing
not
I
a lot
heard,
of people.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Not a lot of people make that link. I grew up
you weren't getting pregnant because
of the sugar and how it was affecting
Good, because then the baby would have been getting all that horrible stuff. And have you ever seen that schematic, Samantha, of refined sugar when they show you the process and it's like a whole chalkboard full of stuff?
Yeah. It's scary.
Now, let me ask you this. How do you feel about high fructose? What is that high fructose corn syrup? Did you learn anything about that through your addiction?
Not through my addiction, but through my recovery.
So you didn't know. Tell them about, what do you know about that? What do you know about high fructose corn syrup?
It's another very highly processed form of sugar that comes from corn itself. And it's not very healthy for the body at all. Even refined sugar is not healthy for the body.
Now, I'm probably going to misquote this, But when I was in the wellness business, I knew all this because I brought it to the attention of my clients. Did you know that, number one, like some huge percentage of products that have high fructose corn syrup in them don't even need it? It's just in there because high fructose corn syrup has a lot of the same addictive properties inside of it that heroin has. That's how powerful it is. That's how powerful it is. It's just ludicrous.
Okay.
It's literal poison. It's literal poison.
It is. And let's bring this into perspective. Your refined sugar is 8 times more addictive than your cocaine.
Well, see, there you go. That's the same thing as the heroin thing.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
So, but what about your body when you were in the heat of this thing? Did your doctors and people, I'm sure you had to go in, some stuff had to go wrong. What were some of the things, some of the red flags, emergency room visits or doctor visits or walk-in clinic visits, about how your body was being affected by all the sugar? What was that like?
So my last straw with the doctor was in December of 2010. I did a sleep study because I wasn't able to sleep very well. And so they did a sleep study trying to figure it out. And they basically just said, you've got restless leg syndrome. Here's a pill. There's nothing else wrong with you. Have a nice day. That was the Western medicine. Even though I kept going in for chronic fatigue, the joint pain, they never asked me about what my food plan was. They never asked me what I was eating, how my sleep pattern was, how was I dealing with any of my emotions. That was never discussed.
Oh, yeah. When you get to the mental health part, you can forget that. They ain't gonna. But you would think. But then again, too, how many of us already know? And last I heard, it was still the way it is, that when doctors go to medical school, they don't even study nutrition at all. They don't have not one semester.
Yeah.
From what I heard. Did y'all hear that out there? Put in the comments. But like, what about your insulin levels and stuff? Were you nearing diabetes? And I mean, did you even care about that kind of stuff, or the sugar thing said, Demon just said, you better not.
My blood test always came back that I was normal. So the doctors always said that I was just fine and that there was nothing wrong with me. Even though
how did they test for the weight?
They never said anything about the weight, really. They just...
Okay, so you said the last straw with the doctor, like you're pissed off at him or whatever, and I get it. But it's never about just one thing. It kind of sounds like they did you a favor. Because then, when you didn't get your answers there, you did something else, didn't you?
I did.
Oh, so if they would have placated you and gave you, well, here, they made it sound like they cared, you might still be in it. Or have 100 other things, because take this pill to offset that thing, and now take that pill because you're going to have something happen from that pill, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But that's not what happened. What did you choose to do differently, Samantha?
So I started seeing a naturopathic doctor in 2011.
A natural who?
Pathic doctor. A naturopathic.
Slow it down. A what?
A naturopathic doctor.
I never heard of that. Yes. I heard of homeopathic, but a naturopathic doctor. Now, okay, so you knew this kind of doctor existed, or someone told you about it?
The one that I started seeing was a coworker's husband of my mother's.
Whose sister was friends with Ray and Shanika? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. One of those type of deals.
Okay. Okay, but had you heard of a naturopathic until they said, you need to see.
Yeah.
You know who you need to meet? So what was it they used to sell that person to you? What did they say you could expect? You need to see him because?
Well, my mom basically looked at me. She's like, well, you've seen the doctors. They aren't getting to the bottom of this. Why don't you try this instead? There was no promises of anything, but it was the fact of we just couldn't figure out what was going on with me with the Western Med. So we went ahead and did a different avenue to be able to see if they could figure anything out with me.
So what happened when you went in? What was the biggest difference in your first visit to the naturopathic doctor as opposed to a traditional doctor? Well, did anything stand out as, well, wow, that's really different?
So he did a test. I don't remember. It's EDS, electrodermal scanning, basically where it's like a pen. You hold a metal rod in one hand, and then the naturopathic doctor uses what looks like a pen stylus and uses it on the acupuncture points of your hand and your feet. So that was a huge major difference.
So in other words, voodoo. I'm kidding. Go on.
But
well, you know why I say that and joke like that? Because of the way my grandmother and other people, anything new, somebody like, oh,
Yeah.
So
yeah, it was different.
Out of the room. Huh?
No blood tests, no nothing. Now, of course, he couldn't diagnose because he wasn't a Western Med doctor. But after his testing, the one thing that stood out to me, still stands out to me to this day, is he looked at me with a straight face and said, "Samantha, if you do not change your ways," yeah, that's a huge big thing right there. But if you do not change your ways, by the time you are 30, at best, you'll be a vegetable in a nursing home.
Is that all?
Yeah, is that all? At worst, you'll be 6 feet under. If I did not change my ways, I can confidently say sugar would have killed me.
So what did he base that prognosis on?
So his testing that he did found that my organs were starting to shut down because I was having a huge candida overgrowth in my body, which
Candida?
Yeah, candida is a yeast bacteria that is in everybody's body. But
wait a minute. Somebody had a song called Candida. Oh, Candida, we can make it together. Da 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 da. Weather. Remember those songs where you didn't know any of the words in between, just every eighth word? No, Candida. Robert Brooker. Am I wrong? Can you look it up? Put it in the comments. It'll drive me nuts all day. ADHD. Okay, so when he said that to you, how did it feel? Was it? And let's be honest. When you went home, do you think it hit you as hard as if you had gotten a cancer diagnosis or something? Because believe it or not, it's just as fatal if you had not changed your ways, is what he had said. So did you ride home in silence, stunned, I'm going to die if I don't change my wicked ways?
I think there was even tears shed. It's this whole realization of, holy crap, I thought I was invincible and this couldn't touch me.
Because you were so young or what?
Yeah. Yep. That whole young mentality. I am young. I am invincible. I can eat whatever I want and it's not going to do anything to me.
So in other words, even no matter how youthful one may be or feel, some destructive behaviors are not, they're not necessarily one and done. They're not phases. See, a lot of people take on it's Karen Carpenter. I bet she thought, I'm going to just try to get slim, eating purge and all this stuff. It's just a phase, people would say. I watched a documentary not long ago. That's how I know that. And and before you know it, it's out of control. So let's talk about your support system at the time. Did that have anything to do with anything? Who was around you? What were they saying? Was anybody like, girl, good Lord, it's Christmas dinner. Aren't you going to have something more than ho-hos and Twinkies? What a meat and stuff. What a dressing,
So my support system was still a little rocky at that point. My husband was the one that really helped me when after the naturopathic doctor, we went home and we cleared everything out of our cupboards, literally took garbage bags and got rid of food that I should not be having.
Can I ask a question? I'm sorry, because my mind, again, ADHD, when you said you keep referring to him as a naturopathic doctor, but then I remember you said, I was with it, and then you said, well, he couldn't prescribe or something because he wasn't really a doctor. But let's clear that up for people. So he wasn't a medical doctor, but so what kind of doctor is that? I'm just trying to understand, are they licensed? Are they not? Are they self-appointed? Is he certified? How did you check any of those things out?
It's board certified to be a naturopathic doctor. And before 2016, they had more of the leniency of being able to diagnose stuff. But after 2016, the voices of the government said anybody in the holistic field can't diagnose anything. So
now look at that. See? And I'm glad you knew those answers, Samantha. Good going on your part that you pulled that right out. It was right there. So that told me, yeah, I don't get it twisted, bitch. That's what you were saying to me. I did my research. My life was on the line. You had to put the work in. You weren't treating it like, we'll see, that kind of thing. So good for you. And you guys, look at what it points to. They start making all of this product. They can make it easier. So leave those pills, ditch them, do this instead. And look at her sitting there. Why do you think people work so hard to keep us from these great holistic treatments and answers? Big pharma, seriously. And I'm telling you, we can't be afraid that if we talk about it, there's going to be a black van going up and down our street because we talked about the government. This is government. We the people. And so, seriously, we need to talk more about it. That's why I'm just saying kudos to you, Samantha, because a lot of people might think, it's just sugar. It was just this, but it goes much deeper.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you didn't find your way to this all by yourself. It was like, oh, you want to see my gingerbread house? Sorry about another sweet reference. Couldn't help it. But see, even there, look at that. Yeah. Even in nursery rhymes and stuff. How did the witch lure the Hansel and Gretel? Through sugar.
Well, and then, you've got the board game, Candyland. Let's go play Candyland.
See, you need to put that stuff in your keynote. Yeah. How it's conditioning.
Yep.
You see what I mean? Right. It's conditioning already. And it's just so interesting because, people are fighting to get books that we need to keep in schools, libraries out. But they got other stuff sitting right in the classroom. For instance, Candyland, one of my favorite games when it was rainy days and you couldn't go out to recess. There was a line in my class for Candyland. Oh, my, you had a waiting list.
Yeah.
That game was so fun. Right. But again, and look, what about Candy Crush?
Oh, yeah.
Look how many people are addicted to that game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you could be on to something, Samantha Wendt.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's go to how long after you went to Dr. X, the naturopathic doctor, how long after you went to him and started working with him, I should say, did you start seeing physical results of a positive nature?
Well, I don't say that this is a good thing nowadays. In the first week, I eradicated 10 pounds. Doing his supplements, following his meal plan to a T.
Okay, wait, but did you just open that with you don't say it again? Are you saying you don't believe in what he did first?
No, eradicating weight fast, 10 pounds in 1 week is fast.
Too much, because then like a pound a week or something.
Yeah. It's usually you want to be slow with your eradicating the weight.
Hold on. Did you just say you did 10 pounds in a week? Girl, tell it. Spill the tea. How'd you pull that off? I need to lose 7 before I go to Kansas City. I'm kidding.
It's really watching what you eat, having the right supplements.
Okay, you guys, but listen. The reason I just did that and made light of it, all seriousness, is because you took the responsibility to say at the beginning, I would not recommend this. So
Yep.
I didn't want us to speed through that intersection. Let's go back to it, pump the brakes, because you want to live through it. You don't want to do any other kind of damage or harm to yourself. And you go, when people ask you, "Ooh, you changed your hair?" No, I lost 10 pounds. You did? How long that take? 6 months? Nope, a week. Give me some. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just like all of those things that people are taking, all those shots and stuff that aren't even meant for weight loss, diabetes and stuff. I ain't gonna mention no names because I really don't want that van coming up and down my street. So I'm gonna just say this. So, okay, but did he tell you to lose 10 pounds?
He did not. All he wanted me to do was just start following his meal plan and his supplements that he was suggesting for me.
So why
That's
do you
all
think
he
you
wanted me
lost
to
so
do.
much weight, Samantha, the first week? What did you overdo it, or how? You said you don't recommend it. So that means if you were to do it again, you would change what?
I don't honestly know what I would change. It was just starting to lose the bloat from having the sugar, but I know also with eradicating that,
like when it's
bloat.
water and stuff. Were you on diuretics?
I was not. I was supporting my adrenal health, and I was getting rid of that candida. So, I mean, you start taking away chunks of fungus, basically, because that's what candida is.
What about your teeth?
My teeth, they
were
were a
your
lot
teeth
more yellow
affected
back
by
then.
all of that sugar?
Yeah, they were a lot more yellower than surprising. I don't really
But
have
did
any
they
cavities.
deteriorate? Did you find yourself getting more and more cavities, or?
No, that part is like mind-boggling to me. I just know that they were a lot more yellow then. They were weaker, but
Well, here's a good one. Before this ever reared its head in the form of addiction, where it was like out of hand, let's go back to when you were in the norm, if there is such a thing. Did you consider yourself a person, when people say, "Are you sweet or salty?" Did you say sweet? Did you have a natural, what people say, "I just got a natural sweet tooth"?
Yeah.
You did? You're drawn. I'm drawn to both.
Yeah, the sweet and the salty.
Yeah.
Yep.
But did you feel you had a sweet tooth?
Oh yeah. But I also
I like
grew up
sweets,
in
but
that-
I don't eat candy, or, well, can't say that because of that. But like chocolate bars and stuff like that. No.
Yeah.
But put some cakes, pies, cookies, that kind of tear it up. Right. So what kind of sweets were your jam? Sorry, that was not a pun.
But it was a pun.
Well, I mean, some people, and it's true, some people eat jelly, can eat anything if it's got sugar in it. Sugar cube. I mean, really. So how bad did it get? I know a question. It popped in my head earlier. I ask a lot of them, but just pick the ones you like. What about this one? Did you ever feel guilt like the next day you realized you were on a bender, like an alcoholic wakes up and there's all these cans and bottles laying around? Did you have wrappers and stuff like, "I ate all those Twinkies and the almond joys"? You know what I mean? Did you ever face that the next day where you look around and go, "Who ate all this shit"?
Let's pop the top on the first. Growing up as a kid, I grew up in the era of Tang and Nesquik and Kool-Aid.
Tang. We took Tang to school in paper towels.
Exactly. I mean,
that shit was so good. Right.
We grew. That was the era that I grew up in. We also had the sugary cereals, so I was conditioned.
Super Sugar Crisp. Yes, go ahead. I'm sorry, you're triggering
Cocoa
me.
Puffs, Fruit Loops. I grew up in that whole era where sugar was all around us, and it was normal. So I didn't think anything of it, And I was taught young as a kid to just shove down your emotions, have some chocolate or some sort of sweet treat, and have a nice day. That's how I was conditioned as a child.
You know what, Sarah? That's right. So many people, they go, "Do you need some chocolate?" I mean, Seriously, how
Uh-huh.
some people soothe, a lot of people soothe with chocolate. Isn't there something in chocolate that makes them reach for it when they need? Oh, it's like a comfort food.
Yeah. Well, it's the sugar that's in there.
So it is
Because sugar triggers your dopamine in your brain, and which is a happy hormone. And so with that happening, you have the sugar and you become more happy. And
Did you detox? Would you say your body literally detoxed when you cut the sugar out? Were there any things that happened because what? You just gonna cut me off, bitch? You know what I mean? What did your body do to retaliate?
well, I know that the first week it was eradicating the 10 pounds, and then it was but I need that sweet treat. I need, and then I started going back into that a little bit, and then
So the mind?
the mind is powerful.
Did you would you be walking, say you saw me opening up a Snickers, just minding my business? Would you be like,
I did it to my husband numerous times. He would eat like the bowl of ice cream right in front of me.
huh?
My husband would eat a bowl of ice cream in front of me, because he couldn't have it still. And I'm like, really? You got to do this to me? But now it's like, whatever. He's doing whatever to his health. I can't help with that. I mean, I can help with it, but.
So what have you replaced for your you go out and people have dinner and then comes dessert? What do you order now when people are ordering those sweet treats?
Well, first off, I don't eat at restaurants anymore.
Because of that?
Part of my story entails a motor vehicle accident in 2016. And in 2017, I was diagnosed with celiac and multiple food intolerances that turned to allergies. 2022 was the year that came the diagnosis of having a cane sugar allergy.
A cane sugar allergy?
Uh-huh.
And what kind of doctor gave you that diagnosis?
My allergist.
Your allergist. Oh, so Mr. Natural was spot on.
Yeah. My naturopathic doctor passed away in 2020. Not due to what was going on in that era. He was in his 70s and his heart just gave. But so that was the hard one of, well, now what do I do for my health?
Yeah. So what do you feel, if anything, the people around you, because you have kids,
Oh, yeah.
right? How has what they've seen with you changed their experience with sugar?
My youngest, she's still in the whole, I just want to eat sugar all the time.
Well, how old is she? 7?
Nope, she's 10.
Okay, same. Yeah, they grown when you can't tell them shit. Okay, so but what are the boundaries that mom sets now? Because she was alive while you were still doing sugar, right?
A little bit, yes. And
a little bit.
My oldest, she'll now start telling people about the impacts that sugar can have on their body. So what we do in our house, I let my kids have some sugar because I don't need them to go to a friend's house and just binge out.
Right, because they're going to get it in.
I allow them, but our trick in our house is that it has to be in the freezer because then they're not worried about consuming it all the time. So what they have is, since they've got food allergies too, is we've got sun butter cups, mint cups, and caramel cups from Free to Be. And so they can be in the freezer and they're allowed to have a sugary treat twice a week. That is my limitation because I also know that if we make breakfast cookies, oftentimes it's made out of a chocolate cake mix that is gluten-free, and it's less sugar than what you get in a bowl of cereal or something.
Did you say breakfast cookies?
Yes, sir. Homemade.
I never even knew that was a thing. A breakfast cookie.
Yeah, they're cookies eaten at breakfast. But a lot of
Wow.
times I try to throw in oatmeal or like oatmeal and raisins to try and make them a little bit more nutritious than just your normal cookies would be throughout the day. So with that, and then sugar is in things that you don't even think sugar would be in. Like I know they've got apple butter. Your tongue twisters are getting to me now. The apple butter that they have does have some cane sugar to it. But with that being said, they're limited on how much of that they can have a day too. Just because I've been teaching my children how to read the labels.
And on the screen, you now see Samantha's sister, Claudine, who has yet to stop the sugar, clearly. Just kidding. So what do you feel when you look over to that gal on the right? What do you feel when you look over at her? She looks happy.
Yeah.
But what was she doing on the inside?
She was conditioned to smile on the outside and fool the world that everything was just fine. But on the inside, there was a raging storm of all the trauma from my childhood, which included being bullied, harassed, sexually assaulted, emotionally abused. There's a whole slew of trauma from the childhood that this gal didn't know how to heal, didn't know how to properly address the emotions. Wow. And so I see a hurt lady in that picture when I look at her. But
when you look at the one on the screen now, she's gone, literally and figuratively. Yeah. But now you're here. So what do you say to this new girl that's sitting there with you?
Empowered, ready to get out and share the story of that hurt girl from the past, to be able to rise up the awareness of sugar and the effects that it can have. So,
okay,
ready to inspire.
Yes. Oh, well, that's clear. And you guys get over. I'm gonna drop into the on the screen. I'm gonna give you guys where you can go and take a look. Sarah's got a great Sarah. So I just got off the phone with Sarah before I got on this show. Samantha, has a great Facebook page. If you go over, she's very transparent. You can see everything on a day-to-day basis of how she's maintaining this healthy mindset and lifestyle. You can also follow her campaign of awareness on the dangers and the peril of not knowing about what you're putting in, when you're putting it in, how often you're putting it in, and what it's leaving behind. So get over. Seriously, I was just telling my husband this morning, I was like, 50 weeks a year for 8 straight years, 5 days a week. And this is the first time I've ever interviewed someone who admittedly says, I was addicted to sugar, and so there you go. I am just amazed. I just love the story. I love the story. It's so eye-opening. So thank you so much, Samantha. Like I said, I told her I kind of busted you out at the front end of the interview on being new to doing this, but that's great. You did it. The hour is over. You dropped a ton of content that is golden and golden nuggets. Take it with you, you guys. Seriously, learn from the journey that Samantha has already lived so that many of us will never have to. That's called easing suffering in the world. Anything short is simply human sacrifice. So remember that. Now listen, Samantha, great job. Thank you. Looking forward to seeing and hearing more from you. Okay. Keep going, keep growing, and keep showing others what you know to be true. And that applies to you all as well. Thank you for being here today, for pouring into all of us and allowing us to pour into each other. I couldn't do it without you. And trust me, I wouldn't want to. Now, tomorrow, join me tomorrow. Who is here? Oh, Jeff Matrix. He was here years ago, one of the first sponsors of the original Power of We Symposium over 5 years ago. He's got something new to talk about. How about this? Are you ready? Getting an inheritance of almost, well, over $250,000 and being flat broke in less than a year. We're going to talk about that and how he has used that experience to change his life. That's tomorrow on Bathrobe Moments. Listen, get out of here, find a little piece of your highest self, and as promised, God willing, I'll meet you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central, right over there on the front porch, so together we can have yet another illuminated conversation. Get out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. Don't let my screen door slam on the way out. And as always, Dr. Lauren tells you, he loves you, and there ain't a damn thing you can do about it. Thank you, Samantha. Have a great day. Great job.
Thank you.
Great job. Bye, everybody.